guys, we are going to start fluid kinematics. So let's start our video. So kinematics is a branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the response of fluid in motion without considering forces or and energies in them. The study of kinematics is often referred to as the geometry of motion. It is generally a continuous function in space and time. So let's see some methods of describing fluid motions. The first method is Lagrangian method. So it describes a different mass as a function of time. As an example, track the location of a migrating bird is an example of Lagrangian method. And the second type of method is Eulerian method. So it describes the flow field as a function of position and time, like counting the birds passing a particular location. It is an example of Eulerian methods. So let's see different types of flow. So first type flow is depending upon the fluid properties, like ideal or real flow, compressible and incompressible flow. And the second type of flow is depending upon properties of flow, like laminar or turbulent flow, steady and unsteady flow, uniform and non-uniform flow, rotational and irrotational flow. So let's see one by one all of these flows. So first one is ideal or real flows. So a real flow fluid implies friction effect. Ideal flow fluid is hypothetical. As you can see here, uh, fluid is flowing through pipe, but in ideal flow we are getting that the velocity of each point of fluid is same in ideal flow, but in real flow we are getting velocity at starting point at surface is 0, but when we are gradually increasing the distance, we are getting velocity increases as we are going up, and at the center we are getting maximum velocity. So this is real fluid. Now, what is compressible and incompressible flow? So guys, incompressible fluid flows assumes the fluid have constant density, while in incompressible fluid flow, density is variable and becomes function of temperature and pressure. You can see here, incompressible fluid, when we are applying forces of pressure, then we are not getting any change in volume. But in compressible fluid, when we are applying pressure, then we are getting a volume change. So that is incompressible or compressible. Now, what is laminar or turbulent flow? So the flow in which the adjacent layer do not cross to each other and move along the well defined path is called as laminar flow. So guys, in laminar flow, these as adjacent layers do not cross each other, but in turbulent they are crossing each other. As you can see here, this one is the example of laminar flow. And for laminar flow, Reynolds number is always less than 2300. And after that, there is one more condition comes, like transitional flow. So in this flow, the Reynolds number is between 2300 to 4000. And for turbulent flow, this Reynolds number is more than 4000. So remember these values. As you can see here, in turbulent flow, these adjacent layers are crossing each other, but in transitional flow, the, these adjacent layers are crossing not too much, but between laminar and turbulent. So we are calling it transitional. And we can calculate Reynolds number by using this formula: rho v average d by mu. Rho is density and v average d is dia, as you can see, and we can calculate by using this formula. Now Reynolds number is used to differentiate between laminar or turbulent flow. So that is the method of how we can find which is laminar or transitional or turbulent flow by using this formula. Now, what is steady and unsteady flow? So in steady flow, it is the flow in which condition of flow remains constant with respect to time at a particular section, but the condition may be different at different sections. But in unsteady flow, it is the flow in which condition of flow changes with respect to time at a particular section. So see here, in steady flow, the flow in which characteristic of fluid like velocity, pressure, density at a point do not change with time is called as steady flow. So as you can see, with respect to time, these velocities, pressures, these are zero, means they are not changing. But in unsteady flow, with respect to time, these velocities or pressures or other properties of fluids are changing. So it is called as unsteady flow. Now let's see rotational or irrotational flow. So rotational flow, the flow in which fluid particles while flowing along streamlines rotate about their own axis is called as rotational flow. So in rotational flow, the flow in which fluid particles while flowing along streamlines rotates about their own axis is called as rotational flow. And in irrotational flow, the flow in which the fluid particle while flowing through or along streamlines do not rotate about their axis is called as irrotational flow. So that is rotational or irrotational flow. Now there are some basic definition, like a streamline is a curve that is everywhere tangent to the instantaneous local velocity vector. So remember, a streamline is a curve that is everywhere tangent to the instantaneous local velocity vector, but a path line is the actual path traveled by an individual fluid particle over some time period. Now, a streak line is the locus of fluid particles that have passed sequentially through a prescribed point in the flow. So, a streak line is the locus of fluid particles that have passed sequentially through a prescribed point in the flow. As you can see here, this one is a streamline, which is the locus of the local coordinate system, and we can make a stream tube with the help of the each particle streamlines. And this one is the actual path followed by individual particle of the fluid. As you can see, first one, this particle is here, then here, then here, then here. So that is path line. And the streak line, as you can see here, and these fluids are flowing through pipe by making this curve as like that, and the velocity of this fluid are maximum at the center and zero at the end point or at the surface. So that is all about fluid kinematics. I hope you understood. Guys, if you want to solve some multiple choice question, then please visit robojala.com. You will get free multiple choice questions based on SSC, JEE, mechanical engineering courses. And for more videos, please subscribe my channel Mekojala.